Good morning, good morning, good morning, beautiful people. Today is Wednesday, June 5th, and we're here. I'm here. Daily Motivations for African American Success. We are celebrating our 126th day of Daily Motivations for African American Success. If you have not gotten the book and you've rocked with us more than once, shame on you. Shame on you. Who's popping in saying good morning? Miss Brenda Davis. Good everything, everybody. I love it. Good everything, everybody. Way to do it, Miss Brenda Davis. And thank you for showing up to the barbecue on time. Good morning, Mike. I meant to call you last night. I hope you're feeling better. But y'all, I went to bed so early last night and I woke up late this morning. Like I seriously woke up late. 6:32. So for me, that's like, whoa. That's like, whoa, whoa, whoa. Oh, looks like Brandon is, yo, should I let him in? Should I? Hey, big head.
Big head, why gotta be big head? How you doing? Good morning.
I wasn't expecting you. How
Yeah,
you feeling?
feel good. Feel good.
Okay.
Just trying to get it
Okay.
all worked out over here on my side. How you doing this morning?
I'm good. I tell everybody, even if you show up at work, I might send you back home today. Back to the bed.
Right. How are you feeling?
I'm okay. I slept a long time. I was just telling them I went to bed early and I didn't wake up to 6:32. And for me, that's a couple of hours late. So, but I feel good. I feel like I could go back and get some more, and I just may do that. I don't really have anything on the schedule today um, until later on, and I don't have to do that. But so I may just do this and go get back in the bed.
That sounds
So,
good. I think you should if you can. I think
yeah,
you should.
yeah. I've not, I don't know. I've not did that in a long time, just kind of lay around, but I might do that
Hmm.
today. But
Sounds like it
anyway,
might be
I'm glad to
might be
have
good
you.
for you.
Yeah, yeah. You know what it
Yeah.
is. You know who tired me out yesterday?
Who?
No, he really didn't. Tupac.
My
We had
son.
such a good time. We had such a good
Good,
time
good. He
yesterday.
came home talking about it. He came home. I went to grandma's house and she gave me snacks and we did this and we did that. Yep. He was happy.
Yeah,
Chick-fil-A and everything. So he was happy. It was good to
yeah.
have the kids separate for a little bit, but thank you so much. Appreciate
You're
that.
welcome. You're welcome.
Well, welcome everybody to the End This Season podcast, Mom. I guess you've already done the introduction.
I've not read anything. I was just kind of saying hello, good morning to everybody, and was just getting ready to get into it. But if you're here and you're gonna do it, let's
Yeah,
rock in it.
let's
All
do it.
right.
All right. So if you haven't been here, y'all, thank you. This is our what, Mom? I'm not gonna get it wrong today.
126th day.
126th day of the In This Season podcast. So thank y'all if you've been rocking with us from the beginning, in the middle, or if you just joined us here recently. We really appreciate you, and invite you to invite
Mhm.
others to like and subscribe to the YouTube channel, and turn on the notifications so that you can let the algorithm know that this is the type of content that you want to see. So if you haven't already gotten the book, here's the book: Daily Motivations for African American Success by Dennis Kimbro. Get that book online on Amazon.com or wherever you buy, the majority of your books. It should be there. It's a I won't say a cheap buy, but it's a high value buy for a low price, for a discounted price. So we don't make anything off of it, but the value that you get from this book is incredible. All right. But a little bit about this book: Daily Motivations for African American Success will help you focus on the thoughts, attitudes, and deeds that will lead to the achievement of your true goals. In 365 short but powerful motivations, one for each day of the year, Dennis Kimbro, author of the popular Think and Grow Rich, a Black choice, it leads us to discover how to use the present moment and our own gifts to transcend labels, cultivate a positive attitude, become wise enough to know when to say yes and when to say no, and to look inward for answers to life's challenges. Each motivation begins with words of wisdom from such distinguished and celebrated African Americans as Malcolm X, Marion Wright Elderman, Whoopi Goldberg, Charlene Hunter Galt, Bill Cosby, Carl Rowan, Mother Hale, Reverend Leon Sullivan, and hundreds of others. This treasure trove of practical inspiration will give you fresh encouragement every day of the year, but what it teaches will last you a lifetime. So, again, go get that book. This is the book that we're reading a passage from every single day and then going over the quote and the affirmation at the end and giving you our thoughts and insights on what the meaning of the passage, the quote, and the affirmation is. So we invite you to participate by joining the chat rooms, um, letting us know what you think, what insights you might have that we might not even see. Okay, so we're here participating just as much as you. We're just playing a slightly different role. So feel free to participate and let us know what you think about the passage. Anything else before we jump into it?
Um, y'all remember the day I waited for the parking space? Remember the story? And I also
Mm-hmm.
mentioned that I met a really cool person inside Costco. Remember the
Yeah.
Costco story, Brandon? So I got
Mm-hmm.
a message last night from that lady. I saw it this morning because she sent it like at 11 o'clock. So it says, "Hi, this is Lisa. I love your podcast, Home Alone. You and your son. It was great. The lady you met at Costco."
Oh,
So
that's so
see,
sweet. That's cool.
well, it really is because all of that, if I had let that moment spoil um, the answer to the blessing,
Mm-hmm.
I still kept my positive attitude even while waiting. Went in, still was my pleasant, jolly, talking to anybody and everybody that will talk to me self. And here we go. Here we go. So y'all keep the positive attitude and do what you ought to do. Do who you are. As you were reading, Brandon, I thought about look at the back of my book. Like you really like this. But let me tell you what I have. I have this. I have it typed out.
Yeah.
I could let this stop me from reading when I want to read it, right? Because of how it
Right.
is. So no, the back of the book is messed up. So what I do? There's another way to get what I need to get. So
Different
get
ways to
what
skin a
you
cat,
need
they
to
say,
get.
right?
Right, right. Get what you need to get. Do it the way you need to do it. Right. So let's rock into it.
Let's rock into
Thank
it.
you, Lisa. If you're listening, thank you. It was a pleasure to meet you, and I hope that we can connect.
Sounds good. Sounds good. Let's hopefully we'll keep her on the show and she can participate and give us her insights because I'd like to know what she liked about the podcast and what she got from it and if it helped her in any kind of way. So thank you. What was her name again?
Lisa,
Lisa. Thank you, Lisa, for joining the show. Appreciate it. So today on June 5th, our title is When Close is Not Enough. When close is not enough. And the quote from the distinguished African American comes from Willie T. Ribbs, who's a race car driver, who said, "The way I approach my entire racing career is do it right. The way I approach my entire racing career is to do it right." Many people are satisfied doing only as much as they need to get by. They're not striving for 100% performance. Of course, no one is perfect, and mistakes will be made in every human endeavor. By accepting less than your best, you can have dire consequences. Efficiency and performance experts believe that we should strive for 100% performance or zero defects. At least one study has revealed what life would be like if things were done right only 99.9% of the time. You might be shocked. We'd have to accept 1 hour of unsafe drinking water every month, 2 unsafe plane landings per day at the nation's busiest airport, 16,000 pieces of mail lost by the U.S. Postal Service every hour, 20,000 incorrect drug prescriptions per year, 500 innocent surgical operations, 500 incorrect, surgical operations each week, 50 newborn babies dropped at birth by doctors every day, 22,000 checks deducted from the wrong bank account each hour, 32,000 missed heartbeats per person per year. The truly great achiever never stops trying to improve. He or she shoots for zero defects. The difference between success and failure, says Greg Barenko, Black America's top car salesman, is attention to detail. Business teaches us that accomplishments are achieved in areas that the also rans thought were not important and winners did. A commitment to excellence is the shortest distance to success. It is foolish. We get to the affirmation here. Okay, so this is the affirmation that we read 3 times. One time for me, one time for you, and one time for the person you're going to send this to and invite to the next show. It is foolish to think you can do anything perfectly. It is a mistake not to try. It's foolish to think that you can do anything perfectly, but it's a mistake not to try. And last time, it's foolish to think you can do anything perfectly. It's a mistake not to try. Excuse me. What do you think about that, Mom?
I have a question before I get into it. Didn't we have something about the also rans?
Yeah, we did.
Didn't we? Do
We
you remember
did.
what? I know it's kind of crazy to ask you. Do you remember
Um,
what that title was off the bat? Does anybody, Miss Brenda? Because I know you kind of say in the book, Mike.
I,
Do y'all
I,
remember the also rans title? That just interested me.
um,
Um,
I can try to find it while you go through your thing, but I remember that.
I
The
do
also
too.
ran.
That the also rans.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so business
Been
teaches
through a
us
couple
that
of them.
accomplishments are achieved in areas that the also rans thought were not important. Okay. So I think it's like, so they ran the race or whatever race it is, not physically racing, but maybe not. Those were the people that were not attention to detail. They showed up, but they didn't really show up
Right, right,
internally. Right. Okay. Okay. I just needed that answer because it struck me when you came across that one. Um, when close is not enough, that it really does change our perspective or my perspective when it shows you those bullet point things that they pull out, what we'd have to accept if someone was not giving their all, if someone was not putting their 100% in every day. And we will expect others to do it, like, but we're not doing it, right?
right,
We expect
right,
others to be 100 with us, but we're not 100 with anyone, not even ourselves, right? So
right.
when close is not enough in your life, what would these bullet points be? If you're not giving your 100% to you, to your life, what are the consequences? It says, but accepting less than your best can have dire consequences.
Right.
Not just accepting it from others, because the dire consequences are more from you than it is someone else, because really what someone else does and how they do it is totally up to you. I was having a conversation with a young lady yesterday, and she was, in my opinion, going to make an emotional decision about her job based on
Mm,
the action of others. And Lord, have we all been there? Have we all been to the point where I'm just gonna quit, right?
right.
And I shared with her, certainly I've been there. Oh my gosh, have I been there, right? But I said, if you want to leave, leave because you want to leave, and there's somewhere else you have to go because
Mm,
you need a job, right? So the consequences of your responding to someone else's issues is more of an issue of yours, right? So you have to internalize it and make the best decisions for you. And sometimes, like we talk here, God has you places that seem to be, um, gosh, some of the worst places from time to time. God will send you in, as I mentioned, He will open a door for you in a workspace, in a home, in the life of someone that is there to teach you. And maybe it's to help you learn how to be
mm,
100% with yourself,
mm-hmm.
you know, because as things, as I'm gonna tell y'all how kooky I am in this. I told you I woke
Mm,
up late, right? I told you I woke up late, and I started to rush. And y'all know, Y'all say she probably didn't hear from God like she keeps saying, but I'm telling you, I heard the voice. I don't care what y'all call it. I heard the voice. Don't rush. I'm the
Yeah.
keeper and the maker of time. Don't rush. And also remember, this is still me hearing the voice. Remember when I made you feel like there was so much time in the day that you questioned it. And this was when I was going to 6 a.m. prayer every morning. And I did that for about a year. Actually, I probably would have still been doing it if the church had not stopped doing it, right?
Yeah.
Y'all, I had money that I was not supposed to have. I literally would be like, I shouldn't, going through my bank account, reconciling everything. Like, I shouldn't have this much money left. Did I forget to pay something? And also time. I would be like, gosh, it feels like it should be 9 o'clock at night and it'd be like 2 or 3 o'clock.
I'll
So
be
I'm
right back,
serious.
mom. You go.
I'm
Keep going,
rushing.
sweetie.
Okay.
I'll be right
As
back.
I'm rushing, okay. As I'm rushing, I heard God's voice said, don't rush. Don't rush. And what I took is I could slow this time down for you and nobody will know. They won't even know what's happening. That's the God that I'm seeing that I'm serving. That's the God. That's the God. And I'm like, I'm gonna bring it up because I heard Steve Harvey say this. Y'all can talk about me all you want, but I'm the fool that believes that God will do what he said he will do. That's it. That's it. And I'm the fool that understands that that doesn't always mean that everything looks like it's going my way. But I'll tell
Mhm.
you what, I know that it is. In spite of what it looks like, I know that it is. So close is not enough, y'all. Close is not enough. That's not how you were created. God didn't create you close to your purpose.
Mm.
No. Spiritually, wonderfully created. And if you're going to be a server of God, serve 100%. That's it. In every aspects of your life. Do right by people, but don't be a fool for people, right? You ain't got to be a yes sayer all the time. You need to tell some people no. Period. No explanation. No. Uh-uh. That's being 100% to you, knowing when to say yes and when to say no. Um, I'll turn it over to you, Brandon, before I get going. I think
No,
I
you
said
can. I
enough.
mean, I was enjoying it, so you take as long as you need. But you good?
I'm good. You know, you
You
can
good?
always give me more, so I'm good. I need
Oh,
a
I'm
sip of
just.
coffee anyway.
I need some coffee myself. I missed mine this morning, but I'm gonna get it after this show. Um, when close is not enough, it really took me back all of the bullet points. 1 hour of unsafe drinking water every month. Can you imagine? So we had a situation in Jackson, Mississippi, where the entire city, which is majority black city, greatly majority black city, dealt with no water for a while. Or Flint, Michigan, horrible
Yeah,
water. And you remember what a catastrophe that was, and how little our federal government did to remediate it. While at the same time sending billions overseas to help rich countries. So when I see the 99.9% of the time that's not enough, and then to read the affirmation that says that we can't do anything perfectly. So there's going to be some mistakes in life, but it's a mistake not to try. It's a mistake to not expect um, your best. Because if you don't strive for perfection, then you won't do your personal best. And I think the striving part is the most important. And I think what we're doing is what this passage leads to is we're not taking ourselves um, as seriously as we could. We're not taking what we're doing as seriously as we could. We're not striving enough and putting our best effort forward. So imagine two unsafe plane landings or 20,000 incorrect drug prescriptions and just the havoc that would wreak. And then I think about 99.9% the fact that we are this is reflexive because some people say that, well, I can't do it, that person can, that person's so different from me. And I think about this, we are 99.9% the same genetically as a chimpanzee. As a chimpanzee. So there's very little difference between you and I, and if is as far as genetically and what our human potential is. And so when you see that 99.9%, and then you see all the outliers that happen, all the mistakes that would happen at 99.9%, you can see how there would be diversity in humanity with us even still being more than 99.9% genetically the same. So that just struck me, that 99.9%. The truly great achiever never stops trying to improve. I heard one of my coaches say, he said, and he's getting older now and was a fighter himself. He said, "You a real fighter doesn't quit fighting. Fighting quits you." Right? He said, "A real fighter never quits fighting. The fighting quits you." So you might be out there trying your best, but your body might get old or something like that. But you know what my coach has done? He's changed his game in fighting, in MMA, to reflect and to better compensate for his age now, right? And he's still just as dangerous, if not more dangerous now in his, in his, you know, aged version than I think he was when he was 100%, quote unquote, because he's smarter. So I wonder if we could apply that same mentality while we're young. They say hard work beats talent when talent doesn't work hard. Have you ever heard that, Mom?
Yes.
That hard work beats talent when talent doesn't work hard. But if talent works hard, they're unstoppable.
Yeah.
They're unstoppable. If you're talented and you work hard, you're unstoppable. And it's very seems to be very rare that you get that mix of somebody who's supremely talented, but also has the work ethic and the mental fortitude that's beyond the measure of many of their peers. So why can't that be you? What's the difference between that person and you in your field? The difference between, I remember one of the earlier passages we read that the margin of success is very small,
Yeah.
very small. So that one extra push, that one extra thought, that waking up early, making it to the meeting a little early. I remember when I was doing a lot of community work and development work, and neighborhood uh, revitalization. It was the meeting before the meeting that had, or the meeting after the meeting that had the most impact. It was the people that showed up early that kind of primed the conversation before the larger conversation and congregation started. And it was the people that kind of stayed after a little bit later that would kind of have a reflection or uh, uh, a debriefing where even more would be done in preemptive of the next meeting. And I started to notice, man, who are these people that are coming before, and who are these people that are staying after? And those ended up being the people that were working the hardest. Those were the people that were going back home and researching and doing things and bringing something else to the table. So it's that extra effort for them wanting to make this perfect, because with the type of work that we were doing, we were impacting people's lives directly. So if we would have played 99.9%, that was the difference between 5 or 6 families not having affordable, safe, and sanitary housing. And who wants that on their conscience just because I was lazy, because I was tired, because I didn't want to give it my all, or I didn't want to show up on time? So just know that you're not only failing you when you aren't striving for perfection, even though we know that we can never have pure perfection. Only God can. But to not make the attempt, to not strive for it, is a mistake. If we know that we're going to harm real people's lives, you're not just shorting yourself, but you're shorting the potential of the people that you could impact, the communities that you could serve in your success, right? But that all has to do with your intention. So I would say purify your intention and magnify your intention toward one goal, and do your best. Aim for perfection, right? Let's see what else was there. I was really taken back by those bullet points.
Could
And
could
attention to
could the
detail.
also
Attention to
rans
detail.
be a credit to the race? I want to find that. Could the also rans be the title, the one, the credit to the race, a credit to
What
the race?
what day was that?
May 15th.
May 15th. I can speed read it really quick and see.
And while you do that, I want to give some points out about being 100 with yourself. Because, y'all, as we say, everything begins and ends with you. And
Mm,
let's say it begins because as long as we're here, it should never end because we should always be willing to grow and learn and remain a student in your life. Always be willing to grow and learn more about yourself. I'm getting to the point where, again, if I feel offended, which is becoming so rare these days, that not saying that it does not happen. I think it happens in a different way to where I feel like, okay, all right, Tammy, what's still there? You swept the room, but you've left some crumbs in a corner somewhere because this is doing something to you. It's making you feel some kind of way. And anything that triggers a reaction rather than a response, I have to figure out what's going on inside of you, Tammy. What did you miss? So here, and I'll share this page out here, well, out there when we get off on the Facebook page. Number one, know yourself, and I'm not going to go into the details of it. You guys can take the time to read it yourself. Know yourself. We keep saying that. Know who you are, whose you are. Let go of negative self-talk. Just let it go. Just let it go. Right? Focus on your strengths. What are your strengths? Brandon just talked about talents. What are your talents? How often do we ignore our talents and do something we don't even want to do? Have faith enough in God to ask, no matter what your age is, God, what are my strengths? What are my talents? And allow me the space and the opportunity to operate in those on a daily basis. Ask God for what you want. I asked for a parking space and got it.
hmm hmm
We're not asking enough. We have not because we ask not. And you can ask for 100%. God, allow me to be, work through me, and let me be a 100% man or woman in all that I do, especially how I serve you. Let that be my focus. Why was I able to ask for the first parking space? Because I'm telling y'all, I'm driving talking to God. I'm getting ready talking to God. I'm washing dishes talking to God. I'm cooking talking to God. I'm loading the dryer and the washing machine talking to God. Because if I don't, I'm telling you, y'all would not like the Tammy. I wouldn't like Tammy. At this point in life, I'd be so over everybody and everything until it would be 1% from me.
I feel you, Mom. I be feeling like that sometimes.
I
I'm
mean,
over
really,
everything and
yeah,
everybody.
it'd be like 1%. So you get the 100% because of God, not me. So focus on your strengths. Stop, stop living in the past. It's gone. Your past does not equal your future. Everyone has made mistakes, is what this one says. They don't have to define who you are, and you don't need to spend your life atoning for them. Learn how to let go of guilt and stop living in the past. Your life can be anything you want it to be. So make it extraordinary.
Mhm.
Extra, right? Stop living in the past. When a thought comes up to you about something that has happened, you start thinking about what is going to happen. Start asking for the first parking space. Start asking for the first whatever, for your passion, for strength, for guidance, right? Get out of your head about your past. It's gone. It's gone. Why would you drive backwards? If you were going to California driving backwards, guess how many times you'd be stopped and go to jail? Now you going that way, but you're going backwards. Imagine, would that work? No. Stop caring about what others think. Oh my gosh, if I can't say this enough, I could just say this one 10 more times. You caring about people? what someone else think who don't even know how to think for themselves. Because if they're thinking about you and your life, they're not a hindrance to you. They're nothing to you because they've not learned how to live their own and think for themselves. I don't have time to think about you. I don't. And I don't mean that in a bad way. If you call me, I got you. I'm here for you. But am I going to spend my life thinking about what someone else is doing? And Brandon, I got to bring this up, and don't, this is no shade on Brandon. Y'all know Brandon is, I love Brandon so much. One of my greatest gifts. But like when he mentioned the other day about the young boys, look at Brandon. He's like, oh, you know what mama going to say on this? He got that little boy look. Well, you mentioned about the shooting while you were out working the other day,
Yeah,
right?
they did it the next day
Well,
too.
I'm telling you, that would have put my spirit in. I would have been so mad at Brandon about going back, whatever, whatever. I can't. I can't be worried about that because that's
Yeah,
just going to take me out of my element. But what I can do about that is I could pray to the God that I serve. Protect my baby, the son that you gave me. I can pray about it. So I'd rather know about it and pray about it than know about it and worry about it. Because what can my worrying do? Nothing. But keep me stressed. Because he gonna go back. So what can I do? I can pray.
mm,
And that praying keeps me calm now. I haven't worried about that since Brendan said it. In fact, I told him about, and I gotta remember the name of the pastor. In fact, I told Brandon about the pastor who the guy came in the church. This is some years ago, and he was shooting in the church, and the congregation and the pastor was praying to the point where they had faith that no one here will die today. You in the wrong church, bro, with that gun, because we're a church of faith. And nobody got shot. I'm gonna find the name of that pastor and share that story with you because you asked me to do that. I need to do that.
you called him something.
I call him my little fat pastor baby. But I
That
do.
was
I do. Yeah, I do. Y'all, I'm going to find him because I
it.
haven't
My
watched him in
fat
a long
pastor
time.
baby.
I do. He's a little fat, chubby little guy, but I love, he tells some stories that of faith, even when his mom woke up at the time where his life was in danger. And she woke up because she needed to pray for him. God woke her up to pray. And so they were able to share the stories, and he realized that it was the same time that he was going through the challenges, not the
Mm,
shooting at the church. I'm gonna find it so y'all can read that story or even go look.
okay,
So stop caring about what others think. It don't matter, right?
and stay
Be
committed to
open.
excellence.
There you go. There you go. Be open to change. I'll read this one. How much time we got? I'll read it. The human brain is complex. We are the product of hundreds of experiences and pieces of information that our brains process every day. The brain is always learning and changing. So, how can we expect ourselves to stay the same? Realize that you can change your opinions and preferences while still fundamentally knowing how to be yourself. You can change without changing yourself. That means you're growing.
Yeah.
To be yourself, you must actually allow yourself to change. You can't say who you are today. As much as I have changed, I can't stay like this because there's still crumbs in my corner. There are still pieces of sand or dirt in this carpet that I've not picked up. The vacuum cleaner, the vacuum cleaner is not sturdy enough to pick up how heavy those are. Some of those things that are still in me because they cut
Mm,
deep. They hurt deeply. They left marks on me that I didn't know. It's a stain in the carpet. It's nail polish in the carpet, and I need some cleaning stuff, some deep cleaning stuff. I need the other people to come in here and get that up with the heavy machine. And all that
Mama
is
said,
what, Brandon?
you said, you said like they was over there. Like, come on, y'all, come over and clean this. You said, y'all,
Yeah,
come on.
I mean, really, but that's what you have to be like. Come on, God,
Yeah,
clean
yeah,
this
yeah.
up because this one's a bit more for me. This is
You
this
said
this
something.
hurt deep.
You
And
said
then I
something.
mean, speak. Go ahead, Brandon.
I'm
I'm
sorry.
on
Go ahead.
number
No, you go
7,
ahead.
so I'll
You go ahead. Finish,
no.
sweet. I'm sorry.
You sure? Because I can go right back
Yeah,
to
yeah.
that.
No, no, I'll wait. I'll wait. You first. You go ahead.
Okay, number 7, be vulnerable. I like that one too because we're people that we don't want to be vulnerable because we think people are going to hurt us. Let people hurt you. That's part of your growth. It's easy to show off, and by let I don't mean you just stand there and be a fool. I'm not saying that, but expect people and things like this one says. Nobody is perfect. It's foolish for us to think that even we're perfect. So the person, people go through things as well, and they're not going to always say and do what you want them to do. And this one says it's easy to show off the good parts of ourselves, but to be yourself you have to be your whole self. That means being willing to be vulnerable. If you're wondering how can I be myself, the answer is to step into your pain. Step into your pain and face your fears head on. Be open and honest with your partner and your friends. Tell them how you really feel. When's the last time you told somebody how you really feel about a situation, whether it has to do with them or just you? Share your deepest fears. Do you even have someone to do that? To share your deepest fears with? You might be surprised how it strengthens your relationships. You very well might be surprised. So that's probably my top one. Be vulnerable because it being vulnerable opens you up in a different way. Whether it's to be a little bit more hurt or to be healed. Because if you're a bit more hurt, you need a bit more healing. And maybe you will seek it, right? And find it. You will find it. Express yourself. I won't read that one. Get out of your comfort zone and find your community. Find your tribe, right? Don't think that everybody is supposed to be in a mist, in the midst of you and where you're going. Y'all trying to bring people that don't even want to go, ain't going. They ain't going. They are the also rans. They also ran, but they ain't gonna keep running. They're gonna stop, turn around a million times. And sometimes when they turn around, they're gonna go further than the space that they turned around at. And you keep going back to get them thinking that's your job. No. It's hard for you to keep yourself going.
That part.
So find your tribe and vibe with that tribe. Stop trying to make people what they ain't ready to be.
Yeah.
Period. Let them know that you there. Bro, sister, if I even have to come back, if I have to turn around and come back and meet you where you are, I will. But you can't stop. I ain't gonna stop going because you don't want to go. And I'm not gonna slow myself down because you are going slow trying to get there. That's your
And
life,
don't
your game.
and I said, don't let people distract you too. Like
Man.
sometimes the people closest to you will be the ones that are distracting you in a very interesting way when they don't really aren't really helping themselves. Like that used to be my issue. Whereas like, I would try to help people, but they wouldn't be helping themselves. You know what I mean? And so in my strive for excellence, I'm thinking excellence is making sure everybody's straight. And now as a man, it's like, no, my excellence is making sure my family's straight, making sure my
And guess
wife
where
and
he got
kids.
that foolishness from?
I'm just
Guess who gave
right.
him that generational curse? His mama.
But
No, I'm
but I
just
mean,
keeping it
but
real.
I will I will
He
I
saw
will
me trying to help Brandon. Let me say this because
yeah.
the mamas need to hear this. He saw me being a fool trying to help everybody that ain't trying to help themselves. Thought that was my Christian gift.
Hmm.
I ain't God. And so what I should have been showing him is how to take care. I should have been taking care of myself so that he could see me taking care of myself so that he would take care of himself. But I taught him. Remember the time you called me and said, why I keep attracting all these broken girls? Because he had a broken mama raising him. And that was his energy. Right? Let's just keep it real. Let's just keep it real. So that's why we as parents, we have to heal. Age, I saw this post about, as you grow older, all this and that. No, because it's some old fools in this world, period. No disrespect to anybody, but it's some people who have not become aware, consciousness, as we talked about yesterday. They don't have the knowledge, right? They ain't faithful. They still fearful of everything. You can't get them to walk outside and check the mailbox because they fearful. So it's not about age. It's about your growing. You're growing to be 100%. So, Brian, I just had to get there because I'm going to keep it real that I gave him that one. As we parents do a lot. We give a lot of things that we don't have to give. Because if we heal, we would not give them. Right? So back over to you.
Right. No, thank you, Mom. I appreciate that, and I think you did a great job, sweetie. We all go through and learn when we're supposed to. So I just I noticed that I would overextend in trying to handle my business and then do stuff for other people. And if people aren't willing to take the step themselves, they want you to do so much for them. You know, they want you to bring the water, and you saying, "I'll lead you to the lake," but they want you to bring the water. And I'm saying, no, I got other people that are thirsty, that have rights over me, you know. And so I've lost a lot of friends and close people because of that, and I will continue to lose friends and people that don't know how to maintain themselves because I'm trying to make sure that I'm maintaining myself, you know. And that's a struggle out here in my position, you know what I mean? Like, but I get it done, and I'm grateful for you know all that God puts in my path as far as people, as far as resources and things to make sure that no matter what, everything gets done. But you cannot be striving for excellence and perfection and get distracted by people who are not. Do not get distracted by the also rans. I like that word. I think I'm gonna start using that, Mom. The also rans. Do not get
Yeah, I
distracted
gotta
by the
find it
also rans.
because yeah, I'm gonna find it. We'll share it
And
tomorrow. I
you know,
gotta find it.
and people will think, let them think whatever they want of you. Let them think bad of you. Let them implode into themselves. But don't lose focus on where you're going. It is okay to lead people to a lake, but you can't keep bringing people water. You can't. Not in the desert when you thirsty too. You got it. You got. And I'm not saying that to be divisive, but I'm just saying self-preservation and maintaining what are your roles and responsibilities. What's your responsibility as a man, as a woman, as the head of a household? Even if you're the only one in your household, if you ain't got another soul living in your house with you, what is your role and what needs to be done, maintained, kept, things like that? Strive for excellence with yourself first, even before you get to success, even before you get to your career or trying to strive for money and things like that. Are you striving for excellence within yourself, within your value system, within your moral character, within your work ethic, within your ability to maintain your room? Is your room clean? You know what I mean? No, seriously. Um so so let's really think about these things, and I think the distraction part for me is the things that I still even to this day struggle with, because I have such a heart for people, and I want everyone to be good. I really do. But when I see people
Mm,
lying to their loved ones, lying to their friends, and then asking for help when you lying. Don't listen. We can't be distracted by those. We have to let those people heal, and sometimes you have to let that go, and let them heal, and continue on your path and journey to heal yourself. Sometimes you can only be an example to people. You're
mm,
not the helping hand. Sometimes the best thing you can do for people is be an example, be the best example that you can be. And I think we're muddying our waters. I'll say this as a community with not trying to be the example, but trying to gain people so we can all be the example. Does that make sense? Like, oh,
mhm,
let's all do this. Let's all do this. It's like, I don't control all of y'all. I don't have any influence in that regard to what you do with your life. But what I can do is be an example of what the alternative is to that lifestyle. And so, hey, Glow. Hey, Glow.
yeah.
Man, it's so good, huh?
We got
This is
some
good.
comments in here. Mr. Trent says, "I'll pull you out of the mud I'll even put your clothes on, but you have to wash yourself off. And see, and I get that,
Got to. I
but
like
if
that.
I do all that, that's got to. I'm to the point where I'll pull you out. There go your clothes. There's a rag to wash yourself. That's why. That's where I am, and I get it, Trent. Some we have to be different places, but coming from where I was speaking about the generational curse that I put on Brandon, which is thinking that I can do more for people than God can. That is my job
Mm,
to,
mm,
because you talked about the lie, right? People are, you're helping
yeah.
people who are lying to themselves. If yesterday I had to show someone that I truly love some tough love, and I was sharing it with someone at the farmers market, that it didn't hurt as much, because when I would have to do that, which that's a part of my growth. That's the phase that I'm in. I just know it. And typically it would put me in a spiritual dump to know that I have the capability to help someone, do something for someone, and I don't do it. But yesterday I said no. I said no, and I felt not so bad about it. It didn't hurt as bad, because Brandon says people are lying to themselves. So if I help you lie to you, do
Yeah.
I am I helping you?
Right.
I'm lying to you as well, and I'm lying to myself. So am I helping you? Because if I love you, I want you to grow. I want you to
Right.
become the best version of yourself. So I'll pull you out the mud. I'll tell you there go the clothes, there's a towel. I'll sit there and wait with you so we can make it happen. But I'm not dressing you. I'm not washing you off, right? I'm just not. I'm just not anymore.
Yeah. So I think.
Unless I hear God's voice say different about that particular situation. Um, you want to read some of the comments, Brandon?
Oh no, you go ahead. Yeah, yeah. Let's read them.
Are you with me? Miss
Mm-hmm.
Miss Brenda says, Tammy, I'm guilty of that as well. I passed it on to my sons, but that is something that I no longer do. And my sons no longer do this either. Um, can you see that one, Brandon?
Mm.
You want to read that one?
Yep. Yep. Brenda Davis says, I have a close family member who thinks her gift is to help others, but the people she is helping can help themselves, but don't because they know they can depend on her, but they are not there when she needs them to be. Oh yeah, absolutely. I've had that
Ooh.
experience where people ask me for help. Oh, can you do this for me? Can you do that for me? But boy, when it's time for me to need something, they going, oh, I got this to do. I got that to do. But they can help themselves. Let people
So let them do
depend
so.
on themselves. If they can't depend on themselves, why can't they depend on themselves? Because they're sitting on their butt every day? Is it because they're not out there trying to go get it? Is it because they keep going back to the same relationships that are harming them? You know, I remember mom being I remember I think I was in high school, maybe the first couple years in college, and I mean, I've been in this situation too, where you see a man, a young man, and a young woman in an altercation. And you know, it's been people, I'm not gonna say no names, that these a man and woman have been in an altercation, young man and young woman. And another young man come over there and try to break that up and try to defend the woman from the man, you know, going on her. And end up I think the man, either the man that was in the argument pulls out the gun and shoots him, or the girl did. I forget which one it was. But he's trying to save her and help her, and then he ends up getting shot. And I've been in situations where I've tried to stop a very similar domestic dispute, and they both turn on you. You know, me and my wife have actually been, where were we? We were out near like Harvard Street in Memphis and saw a couple arguing. And I remember, you know, saying, "Hey, y'all," you know, like it looked like they were getting physical. He was getting physical with her, and she just plumb cussed us out. So it's like people are going back to the same relationships. And what do I look like going out there trying to help you? And you're gonna go right back to this fool tomorrow. You are operating in that dysfunction together. You know what I mean? Or
Call
what do I look
911.
like?
There are people
What do
trained
I
to
look
do
like?
that. Call 911.
Right. But what do I look like giving you $100, $200 and you have the ability to go get a job, to go work, to go do this, and you're not doing it. You know what I mean? Like I know people with felonies, people with this, that, and the third that's out there grinding. And they said, start from scratch and keep scratching. Are you scratching? Or are you asking somebody else to scratch your back? You got fingers, you got nails, scratch yourself. Because what your itch don't make me scratch.
And guess what,
Right.
Brandon? If they don't, they sell the back scratchers. Go buy you
Yeah,
one.
yeah,
You
yeah.
can't reach it, go buy a back scratcher. Go buy
But but
go get what you need for you.
but those same people, we have to also realize, well, they are not taking accountability for themselves. So when you do deny them, they will still blame you. It's only when they start to take account for themselves that they're truly growing. But those same people will try to make you feel bad. They'll, blame you and say you did this to me and you the reason why I can't do this. It's like, no, I don't have any control. And so I've started to learn that. And when I started doing that, I realized who was my friend and who was my parasite.
Mm.
You know,
Whoa.
and that stops you from focusing on excellence, stops you from focusing on your true goals, because the energy that you're giving to these people, the energy that you're pulling away from the things that you have going on for your family, you have to you're losing that, and you're not getting that momentum for what you have going. You're gonna burn out, and I refuse to burn out for anyone but the people under my roof, and that woman right there that y'all see on the other side of the screen. Everybody else, I love you, but I got limits. I got limits. So I think we're getting a little, when close is not quite enough. We've just been going on, how do you aim for perfection? And I see that, as far as I'm speaking to myself first, one of the biggest obstacles that I have and chasing that 100% is trying to help other people on the way. So I'll stop at 99.9% to be like, hey, come get this point one with me. Let me help you out with this point one, and now I'm missing my point one to make my 100. So I refuse
Mm.
to do that. I will give myself 100% of myself, and for everyone else that thought that they deserved or were entitled to a percentage of me, you're gonna have to come up with your own percent, because I'm focused on my goals. And we'll see where God takes us with that. But as of right now, that's my pure focus, and I hope that it's yours too. Because I think, what was the one thing that said the other day? It says that if you're looking for a helping hand is just at the end of your sleeve,
Hmm. Yep.
right? Your helping hand is the end of your sleeve.
I've
So
got to hand it to you. So hand
I've
them
got
back their hands.
and I want to say one more thing. It doesn't really have anything to do with this, but it's something that my wife brought up to me. So we have chickens, and we're gonna get off here, y'all. I know it's getting late. We have chickens, and they're laying a bunch of eggs. We were outside in the backyard, and there's I think a Korean family that lives to the corner back of us, right, like the back left corner. And the Korean man was out there. He's always taking care of his his pear trees and his flowers and stuff like that. And it's the family with the dog that had gotten through the gate that one time, huh? Right, with the husky, I think it was. And so we're out there, and my wife says, she comes out with a dozen eggs, and she gives them to me, and I'm like, "What's this for?" She says, "Go give them to that man back there." She says, "Go give them to that man back there." I said, "Why?" She said, "Well, we got a whole bunch of eggs. Basically, give out of your abundance, right?" She said, "We got a whole bunch of eggs." And I said, "Well, I don't really know them like that." She said, I just been wanting to give them some eggs." She said, "There's a reason that God put us next to the people that we live next to, and we barely know them." She said, "Out of all the 8 billion people in the world, God put these people next to you as your neighbors for a reason. Are we being good to our neighbors?" It's a core tenet of Islam, of the Bible, of Christianity, and of Judaism. Are we being good to our neighbors? And where are those boundaries? I think that's one thing that I could have learned more as a child, is what were the boundaries and what were the extent to which I could give a helping hand, right? And so I did that. I went over it. I said, my wife wanted me to give you these, and he looked so confused. He was like, "Why are you giving me eggs?" Right? Like, what? I said, "We have chickens, and the chickens have eggs." And he could barely speak English. And I said, "Gift," and he said, "Ah, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you." Right? And so I just wanted to say, there's ways that you can give charity and you can do things. And we haven't talked to that man since, right? But what we are building is if something happens at my house, that neighbor knows that we're good people. He'll have some affinity for us and won't just turn a blind eye. So I think if I do think that your neighbors have a certain right on you, than just people that are everywhere else. So be good to your neighbors, and in my opinion, that's one of the excellences that we can chase is to be a good example, be a good neighbor, be a good family person, and chase your excellence. Not at 99%. If we got excess and abundance, give out of that. But if you better believe, if I only had 6 eggs, he wouldn't have been getting no eggs. You know what I mean? But since I'm just the way it is. But if I got 20, 30 eggs and it's only 4 of us here, I can give away some eggs. But I'm giving out of abundance. Don't give out of something that you don't have. If you ain't at 101%, don't you give that 1%. You get your 100 because you deserve that. And the first charity is due to your household. Your first charity, remember that, is due to the people in your household and your mother. Take care of your mother, take care of the people in your household. All right.
And Brandon, if I might, and then we'll get out of here. I want to read Tanya LA's message here, but if I might, there have been times where I have given, but I gave from the direction of God, not the direction
Yeah.
of my ego or my feelings. And
Right. Right.
sometimes we get that twisted. We get caught up and mixed up in feelings and emotions because for sure, we are here to help one another, but not hinder someone's growth. So there's a huge difference between helping and hindering someone, right? Helping someone grow or helping someone stay the people of the lie to themselves, right? So there has to be balance in everything.
Yeah. Yeah.
Period. Tanya says, "Good morning. In the Bible, it states to be the lender and not the borrower. And maybe when that person tells you no, when you need them, it's really to help to stay on course because you know what to do to get what you need and want. So, no, I don't expect for them to do for me because I've done for them. I just need to keep pressing, which makes me stronger. It hurts when they say no because you be like, after all I've done for you. But guess what? They still don't owe us anything. And what's really crazy, and it cut off there, Tanya. Maybe you went, and that's really crazy. It cut off there, so that's all we're able to see. But I get you there. Thank you.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Yeah. I
in
get you.
balance for sure. And it's
For
just
sure.
that basically what this comes to is keeping it 100. Keep it 100 with people. If you help someone, you might need to help them and say, hey, listen, da 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 da. You keep coming here for this, but I'm seeing this. You're doing this. And if I keep seeing this and you keep doing this, you're going to have to keep coming to me for the same BS when you can help yourself by making some changes in your life, right? So sometimes we say yes when we want to say no, and then that creates something in us, right? So learn when to say yes and when to say no. Learn when to say, hey, let me pray about this because I don't know what to do right now. Because at the end of the day, you want people to be 100%. You want them to
Yeah.
have the ability to give 100% in their life so that we all and again, as the affirmation says, um, no one's going to be perfect here. But if your aim is 100% and you get 99, cool. But if you ain't aiming but for 50 and we get 49, it's gonna be some checks gone, pulled out of my account, and then you're gonna
Some
be
babies
really
drop.
right. Some babies dropped, you know.
Yeah.
So 100%, y'all. Okay, Brandon, let's end it.
Yeah.
It's gonna be 8 o'clock.
We can't drop no babies, y'all. Can't drop no babies. This is not that kind of party. We can't drop no babies. All right.
Not that
So
kind of party.
this, huh? What'd you say, Mom?
I just said not that kind of party. What you said, I just was
Yeah.
giving you 100 on not that kind of party.
I appreciate it. Well, thank y'all again for joining the In This Season podcast. This is our day 126. Mom, I'm about to go out here and get my phone situated, y'all. I shattered my phone. I shattered my phone, messed up my stuff. Mom, you know how many text messages I had when my phone shattered? I had just looked.
I mean,
It was 99. Actually, it was 99 of all numbers. I had 99 text messages that I had not seen yet. Because I'm in all these different group, chats and things like that, community stuff. And I was like, this is too much. I'm gonna have to get a whole nother line, right? Just for one for business and things like that. So, and after that, after I said that, you know what happened? My phone shattered. So,
when I learned
yeah,
about it, you know what, Brandon, I was like,
uh,
I said he probably needed so he could get a good night's rest and day
I
two. So
did.
I wasn't even messed up about it
You
when
know
I
I
heard
did.
about it.
I got such good sleep, but I'm gonna get that phone situated tonight. But just to let y'all know. But so we getting close is not enough. Getting close to a phone is not enough. And right now I kind of got a little temp phone, and it's not doing well for me. So I gotta get this close is not enough. But thank y'all for joining. We know we're giving y'all a little bit of a lot of insights into our lives, our personal lives, and I hope it's adding some value to your morning. So we really appreciate y'all for coming through on this 126th day when close is not enough. So the quote for the day came from Willie T. Ribbs, the race car driver, who says, "The way I approach my entire racing career is to do it right." To do it right. When I first read that, to do it right, I was like, well, of course you're gonna do it right. But right is going for 100% with few defects, with little to no defects, right? Do it with perfection, right? So today, he says, the way I approach my entire racing career is to do it right. And the affirmation that we read 3 times, one time for me, one time for you, and one time for the person that you're going to invite to the show, is it is foolish to think you can do anything perfectly. It is a mistake not to try. It is foolish to think you can do anything perfectly, but it is a mistake not to try. And last time, say it out loud. It is foolish to think you can do anything perfectly, but it's a mistake not to try. Thank y'all so much. I love y'all. To all my friends and family out there, I love y'all, appreciate y'all. And hopefully we'll see you here tomorrow at 7 a.m. on the In the Season podcast with your beautiful host, Tammy the Butterfly, and her son, me.